Chapter 13, Section 4, once again. We're talking once again about multiplying binomials. Now again, this is an alternative to the FOIL method that we learned yesterday to multiply binomials. As you can see, we're using these squares that look a lot like Punnett squares. Punnett squares are a science thing. I don't know if you've done them this year. I think you did them last year. No. Punnett squares are when you make mapping out genes and traits. You know, this person has genes that are XX and the female has genes that are XY. And so what genes could their kids get? So you put X and an X and an X and a Y, and then you go like this and you put them together, and that's the 4 possibilities. Right? That's the same basic approach we're using here, except we're using binomials. Right, there are 4 steps to this. Step 1 is obviously to start with 2 binomials. You don't have 2 binomials, this isn't ever going to work. Step 2, you're going to change subtraction into adding the opposite. That's a familiar process. We've done that a lot in this chapter. Step 3, you're going to make the square listing one binomial across the top and the other down the left side. And it doesn't matter which one you put where. It doesn't matter which one you put across the top and which one goes down the left. And then step 4, you'll multiply corresponding locations and simplify. Multiply corresponding locations and simplify. Again, step 1, you're going to start with 2 binomials. Step 2, change subtraction into adding the opposite. Step 3, make the square listing one binomial across the top and the other down the left side. And step 4, multiply corresponding locations and simplify. So as you can see, there's a test problem once again that's done out for you here, so we can take a look at that to start. The test problem is 2x minus 3 times 4x plus 2. All right, as you can see, we do have a subtraction sign here. So the very first thing I did is I rewrote that part as 2x plus negative 3. 4x plus 2 was fine to begin with. All right. So now I've got it in the form I want. So now I'm going to list one binomial across the top and the other down the left side. So I put the 2x and the negative 3 in the top and the 4x and the 2 down the left side. Now notice I threw out the addition signs. The beauty of this is because we took out the addition signs, we don't have, or because we changed all the subtraction signs, we don't have to worry about that step. All right. There is a way to do it without, but then you got to do a lot of sign matching. We're not going to do that. It's not worth it. All right, so now you're at the point where you just multiply corresponding locations. So to the left of this box is 4x, and above it is 2x. So I'm going to multiply together 4x and 2x. This box here has 4x to the left of it and negative 3 above it. So I multiply together 4x and negative 3. This box here has 2 to the left of it and 2x above it. So I'm going to multiply together 2 and 2x. And this box has 2 to the left of it and negative 3 above it, 2 times negative 3. All right. Now you've just got to go through and do all the multiplications. Now, I did a second box. Not always would you do a second box. Sometimes they just make this half the box and put the other answer in the other half. I just do 2 because it's easier. So this box here, 4x times 2x. 4 times 2 is 8. And x times x is, of course, x squared. Remember, those both have exponents of 1, and we add them together. And that's what I wrote there. This box, 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Stick the x on the end, negative 12x. This box here, 2 times 2 is 4. Stick that x on the end, 4x. And 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So now we're at the point where we just got to add all this stuff up and we're done. Now, notice on this diagonal, and it's always going to work out this way on the homework, not in perpetuity, but it will tonight, right? On this diagonal, these are both plain old x. So those things can be added together. So I'm going to add together negative 12x and 4x, and that's negative 8x, which is what's going to go to my final answer. So you've got 8x squared plus this diagonal makes negative 8x plus negative 6, and that's it. Again, some people find this to be significantly easier than FOIL. That's kind of up to you. All right, so let's practice this. All right, example 1. 5x plus 7 times x minus 3. All right, you can see we do have a subtraction sign here that needs to be dealt with, so that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to do rewrite. I'm going to rewrite this as 5x plus 7 times x plus negative 3. Okay, Corinne, which one do you want across the top? 5x plus 7 or x plus negative 3? 5x plus 7. Fine. So I'm going to put 5x and 7 here, x and negative 3 there. All right, so now I have to multiply the corresponding locations. So this box has 5x above it and x to the left of it, 5x times x. This box has 7 above it and x to the left of it, 7 times x. This box has 5x above it, negative 3 to the left of it. And this box here has 7 above it, and negative 3 to the left. All right. Yes?
Does it matter which one you do first?
Nope. All right. So we're in multiplication phase now. So I've got 5x times x. Well, x and x, of course, make x squared, so this whole box is 5x squared. This box, we like that one. 7 times x, 7x. This box, well, we've got 5 and negative 3, which is negative 15. And I can't leave off this x, so negative 15x. And this box has 7 and negative 3, negative 21. Now, once again, on that one diagonal, all right, those terms add up because they're just plain old x, and that's the only reason that is so. All right, so you've got 7x and negative 15x, which add up, of course, to make negative 8x, and then we're ready to write our final solution. 5x squared plus negative 8x, again, that's what we got when we added those two together, plus negative 21. It seems to me, anyway, that this method goes a little bit faster. I don't know if you find it easier, but it seems to me it goes a little bit faster. All right, example 2. 1/2 x plus 3 times 4x plus 1. 1/2 x plus 3 times 4x plus 1.